In this conversation, we're speaking to Mr. Fully Paid, a man who's had a different upbringing to a lot of us in this conversation right now. He's been through Peru. He's built a brand that is synonymous with a lot of people listening to this conversation right now. He also teaches us how to build a brand, how to build a clothing business, and a lot more about relationships that he has with the people around him. Stick around with this episode, especially if you're really interested in the space of clothing and also just to get to know a guy behind the mask. Thank you so much. Guys, please, like I say every single time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and we want to hear more about what you guys want from us. Thank you. Mr. Fully Paid, where do we need to begin this conversation to understand you?
Anywhere you want, anywhere. Don't mind.
Okay. Let's start with this. Every single one of us here has a different family structure.
Yeah.
We want to understand your family structure to understand you.
Okay. Family structure. When you mean family structure? In being more in depth.
In your household, growing up,
Yeah.
what was it like?
It was cool. It was fun. I won't really say we had like a bad childhood. Like I think it was just fun, exciting. Enjoyed ourselves with the little we had. So yeah, it was fun. I think it was fun.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah, got 2 sisters. So yeah, it was all fun. Hectic sometimes, but yeah.
In what
It was
way?
fun. Like just did some crazy stuff in it.
Within the household, like outside the household.
Yeah, arguments and that, all that, but all blessed.
Yeah.
Those girls are girls, innit? So you
Yeah.
have to understand them.
So
How's your relationship with them now?
No, it's always been good. Always been good. But obviously, as growing up now, obviously I understand females properly, so it's good stuff.
do you feel like being the sort of sole male figure in that household has shaped you in any way? And if so, in what way?
Yeah. Obviously, it taught me how to like obviously treat women, and obviously how to deal with women's like emotions and stuff like that at different times. So yeah, just taught me how to like kind of be more like understanding females. They're interesting, innit? So you have to understand them. So, yeah, that's about it really.
Interesting. Yourself as a child, I want to understand that first, because what we do here at Perspective is we try to understand the man right now and the child before the man.
Yeah.
We were all children once.
Yeah.
I've said it countless times here.
Yeah.
I was a very interesting child. I was bullied when I was younger. You probably could tell from the way I speak now. They're very different things, so many different things. But from you, in your perspective, how were you growing up? In secondary school, how were you in terms of your friendship group?
Secondary school didn't. Well, I enjoyed secondary school, but like it wasn't really the greatest because obviously I didn't last in it, so it didn't really last.
Why?
Too long. It wasn't even bad. It just class clown, little things and here and there, and then like me and my friends ended up getting kicked out. Went to a unit, but like that was probably one of the worst things that happened because it was kind of unit's boring. It's just a bunch of bad kids and it's just dead. And then obviously I realised being in mainstream school is actually kind of like better. So, but growing up in school, it was good, but halfway through it just went down the wrong path.
What is that wrong path?
Like literally just with the wrong crowd, doing things that what I wasn't meant to be doing and stuff like that. So it just led me down the wrong way to getting kicked out of school and stuff like that. So yeah, which was a bit of a embarrassing moment.
Was it like a build up of different things that you do?
Yeah, it was all mounting up. It was all mounting
that
up.
one thing get out?
Yeah, like literally it was just all bubbling. But obviously I thought personally I'll always be able to get away with it, like and get away little things.
But what was the final piece that was like, this guy needs to get out?
I think where it was is like they just literally I think they just had enough one day. It wasn't no actual final piece. It was just like one of them ones. It was just piling up, and then they just said, "Yeah, like we've got to send you elsewhere."
Yeah.
Obviously, I thought they were joking, but then
So you ended up going to Peru.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that again?
Like Peru's just a bunch of bad. Everyone just gets kicked out.
Yeah, for kicked out.
Yeah,
What year was this? How old were you?
I think I was year 9, year 10, year 9. Going into year 10.
Okay.
Yeah, going into year 10. So
I'm guessing that's the first time life took a sort of unnormal way.
yeah, because it was embarrassing. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone's going to school.
Yeah.
And then you're going to Peru with your friends, in it. Obviously, friends that obviously were in the same school as me as well. We all went there together, but like it's kind of embarrassing because like everyone, like your parents, and like it was quite embarrassing.
Yeah.
At the time, it was embarrassing because I just realized that it's not cool now because everyone's going to school.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be the guys that all turn up at school on the bikes?
Yeah, like
After school,
after
just
school,
link
like
up everyone.
after a while, we just stopped going because we realized like this is actually kind of like it's a bit embarrassing. Like everyone's in uniform, we're not in uniform. We look odd. Like we just said, like we just stopped going back to the old school, and then we just went on with our new life in the Peru. To be fair, met different people.
Yeah.
But the Peru wasn't as, it wasn't the greatest, but it taught us different life skills and stuff like that. So it wasn't as. It was bad. It wasn't good for education like that, but it taught us different stuff as well. They did anyway. They did. They kind of cared. They taught us more about life, etc., and stuff like that. So, in some sort of way, it weren't the worst because obviously things we learnt as well about life skills and what path to take and other stuff like that. But education-wise, it was not the greatest, to be honest with you.
If you can paint the picture for me, I've never been to Peru.
Yeah.
I've never known anybody to even teach there, so I wouldn't know what it's like. In a day-to-day basis, how did that look like?
On a day-to-day,
Yeah.
like you go in.
You mentioned that.
It's funny enough, we actually got paid to actually come in. Because some of us didn't want to go.
What, at 14?
So if we go in for a full week, we'll get £20. The guy in charge used to pay us to come in, so if we're going for a full week, he'll either take us for a trip or he'll buy us like food and that. Like it's mad. It's actually mad. So if you come in for a full week, you're actually gonna get money, or he's gonna take you to a trip. Like it's this.
Was it out of his own pocket? Or
I don't know where it was coming from, but like,
bro, we have some.
At the end of the week, he'll give you a £20.
Okay.
Just
to everyone, because like people never used to turn up. So I think it was like a mind game thing, incentives. Like, okay, cool, if they turn up, I can do this and that. So people used to actually turn up because they know end of the week we're either gonna get money,
or we're gonna go do something,
or we're gonna do something dope. So that's what it was. So he was doing that to So we actually used to turn up every day because there was a time I said, I'm not going. This is rubbish. But then obviously my friends started getting the £20 and stuff like that and other stuff, and then going on trips. So then every day we just used to turn up and get what we needed, which was the £20 or the trips.
So day to day, you wouldn't wear any uniform.
Nah, no uniform.
You can wear whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Okay. You walk into the Peru with whatever.
Yeah.
Is it the same in the sense where in secondary schools it's like you have 5 periods a day or 4 periods a day, you have a break, you have a lunch, or is it completely different where how do you pick your subjects that you study? Do you even study subjects? I've never seen that. Paint the picture for me.
Subject wise, like we had to do maths, English. That was standard, and obviously PE, but we couldn't do science. I don't know why, for whatever reason. Actually, I could understand why. Health and safety.
Buns and burners.
Yeah, so they probably just thought, nah, but them 3 things we had to do. Like maths and English, they were onto us about. The PE was good, it was kind of straightforward. They had a gym in there and stuff like that. And then we finished at 2:45 every day. But sometimes we finish a bit earlier. Like it's mad. That makes sense. But
and you start at 9?
Yeah, we'll start at 9. But we'll get there and if like breakfast will be there. Yeah, we'll have literally breakfast will be there.
Oh, wow.
Cornflakes, toast, whatever you can think of, jam, everything's there.
Yeah.
So we can wake up in the morning, just go there and know we're gonna have food. At lunchtime, food is provided as well. Either like they'll give us money to go and buy food, or they'll just get a bunch of sandwiches, drinks and stuff like that. Food was never a problem there, unlimited food. And so just have to do that 3-4 periods a day, and then we could do whatever. There was times where we had no lessons, so we'd just chill out, just go on the computer, chill out, free time, do what we want. Sometimes we started a bit later. I can't remember. There was one time during the week, I think it was a Wednesday or Thursday, we started like 11 or something like that. But yeah.
Did it feel like a punishment?
No, it didn't feel like a punishment. That was like, it felt like we just felt like it was at a youth club.
Okay.
But like the back of our head, I was thinking, this is not really education. This is a bit crazy. But No, there was no punishment whatsoever. They were pretty cool. Like if anything, they were just trying to keep us sweet. If anything, they weren't trying to tread on anyone's toes.
Were there any clashes? Because you know when they say like when you have similar people in all the time, whatever, there's
all the time
clashes.
There was people from everywhere, not everywhere, but people from a certain part of London and stuff like that. So yeah, there was clashes every now and then, but not every time. But when there was, it weren't good. It weren't great. It was actually very, very bad.
Yeah.
When there was, it was bad, but everyone else was fine. More time, but I think that's because we got what we wanted, so there should be no reason for us to act a certain way. Yeah. But sometimes, things went left. Yeah, things went absolutely left.
Describe a time when it went left.
Just normal fights. So fights, arguments, people disagreeing and stuff like that. And then obviously there's a gym there, like weights flying around there. It's not, it's long.
I see.
So yeah, but apart from that, they had it kind of under control more time because they had some like very big teachers working there, like I'm saying, like bodybuilders and stuff like that. They were big, so they'll have it kind of under control. If anything kicks off, they'll have it on serious control. So,
and you grew up in. You grew up in Hackney, right?
Yeah. Hackney.
What was that like?
Hackney was Hackney. Hackney's good. It can be good. It can be rubbish. It is what you make it. But Hackney's interesting. I mean, I ain't got really nothing bad to say about it, but. Yeah, Hackney, not somewhere like I'll grow my kid up, but
why?
What's there? Nothing's there.
Is it?
No, not really. There's nothing really to do. Nothing really there. That's just me. Not saying that I had a bad childhood in Hackney, but there's nothing to do sometimes and stuff like that. So opportunity is kind of limited at times. But I guess
where do you envision like raising your kid? Like what would be different if you raised your kid in a place that you have in mind compared to Hackney?
Well, you can raise in two ways. Like you can raise your kid in Hackney, but I mean, with the society we're living in now, you don't know what's gonna come about it. So I don't know, like especially when they go out, there's not much to do. What else are they gonna get up to? So where would I raise them? Somewhere like where there's people, ambitious people and stuff like that, motivational people and stuff. I mean, if you're surrounded, let's say for instance you went to, I don't know, Hampstead or whatever, in around there, I mean Finchley, where the mansions and stuff are, automatically your brain's gonna be thinking big. Wake up in the morning, you see different stuff. Or with Hackney, you wake up in the morning and it's just like
no, that's
but obviously Hackney's different compared to what it was then to now, but I mean sometimes Hackney's just like you get up and it's just like it's mad.
I was there recently actually. Not far from I think there's a canal in Hackney. There's those new apartments that they've built in Hackney Wick.
Yeah.
They've completely transformed the area. Yeah,
the area is proper transformed. Some parts are transformed, some are not. But the transformation are not for people like us anyway. So but for others that obviously didn't grow up in Hackney and they're coming into the transformation, it's fantastic. There's nothing. You've got restaurants and stuff like that. But again, I think it's for them. Don't think it's for us. So
cool. I want to take you back to the Peru. So obviously you're going there every day. How old? Sorry, you were 14, year 9, around that age. Were you going there for about 2 years until like you did your GCSEs?
Yeah, 2 years.
And from then on, did you like go to college? Were you allowed to go to college, or was it a kind of continuation?
At the time, I was playing football, so I was playing football, so I was alright, not too bad, pretty decent. So I was playing football. So my whole thing was like, after this, I used to think in my head, I don't know where half of you lot are going, but I'm going here. Like I kind of had the right idea like where I'm going. Yeah. So I was just playing football. So after that, when I finished, I went straight to football. To be honest, like kicking ball. That was it for like 2-3 years. So obviously with football, they do like I think 2 times a week, 1 day a week. You have to go to like the football college and
where
stuff.
Where did you start?
Literally, what team did I start? AFC Wimbledon.
Okay.
Yeah. I think at the time they were in League 2. Don't know where they're at now, probably League 1, but playing there at the time. So I was there as soon as college was done. No, not college. Peru. a couple months later, that's where I was there. So that was good. For the period it was, so I was there.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really around, Hackney as much.
Yeah.
So because every day I'm up that way and you're playing matches every weekend and so I was kind of occupied for a long
Did
period of time.
you feel like, I'm sorry, you said you had 2 sisters. Were you the oldest?
Yeah.
So did you feel like you had some sort of role model growing up or someone that you looked at and was like, I want to be like you?
Nah.
Never.
Nah,
Okay.
not really, to be fair.
Mm.
I never really had a role model, to be fair. I never really looked up to anyone to say, I want to be like this person or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nah, not from what I remember. Just
taking life
taking life as it comes. So I never used to look up to anyone and be like, I'm going to be like you, I'm going to be like this. Nah, I just took life as it comes each day.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
That's crazy.
In terms of your childhood now,
You've
painted some form of a picture for me. I can understand you now.
Yeah.
Mr. Felipe, I can see you between my eyes. I can see you in Peru. I can see weights flying around. I can see so much happening.
Yeah.
If I was to ask you to look back, what would you like to change?
If anything.
I would want to be back in school. I would change, I would finish the whole of year 11, in school. I would focus on what really matters than getting distracted. So I would actually focus on football solely and just trying to change the perspective. I think that would be one, just stay into school. Number one, rule one, stay in school. And I think that's it. If I was meant to go back, I would love to have stayed in school, honestly.
Yeah. And would that be like advice?
Yeah, man.
Everyone.
Yeah, I would have loved to stay
On
in
the
school,
fence.
honestly, because so if you look at it now, school is actually cool.
100%.
It's actually funny.
Yeah.
I didn't get to go prom and that, and I saw the picture. I was so upset. I was actually I think that was what I was so upset. To this day, it upsets me. Everyone went to prom. I didn't get to go prom. I saw my friends there, all the pictures, and I was so upset. I was thinking, I didn't even get to go prom. This is actually so rubbish.
No, you're right.
But no, I would just stay in school, to be honest.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be part of the madness was going on and stuff like that. I would literally just focus on doing me. Sometimes being the bad guy is not even worth it. I'm honest, it's just boring.
That's powerful,
Yeah, it's dead. Being the bad guy is just, there's no point. Looking at it now, being the good guy is actually cool. Being the bad guy, it's not really worth it, because then you end up in Peru, you get things it's just privileges just gone. I couldn't even go prom. Little things it's just dead. It's just dead. And obviously, when I realized that Peru was a kind of it weren't making sense. My mom's trying to apply for schools for me. They're saying no. That's when I realized that this is mad. I was blackboarded from when I was young. I was thinking, this is crazy. I can't even get to another school at the borough.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
So it seems like there were a lot of, I don't know if you've even classed them as obstacles in retrospect, but at the time it seems like obstacles.
Yeah.
Was there a time where you were like, okay, I'm actually proud of what I've just done? Or what was that first time?
Not for a very long time. So actually, to be fair, when I obviously come out of Peru and I started playing football out of the local borough, I didn't feel proud at the time, but after a while I was like, oh, you know what, this actually feels good, because obviously some of my friends I grew up with, some in Peru, and I end up in jail. It's not there. Obviously, you obviously have to have accountability, but I can understand how you can end up that way quick and stuff like that. So I felt more more relief than more lucky, because I'm thinking, I'd rather be doing this than that. That seems like headache. So that's when I felt proud, because I was thinking, okay, cool, at least I've beaten some sort of odds of not being that minority that ends up in Peru, goes to jail. That's it. So I thought at that time, I felt I felt more proud of myself. Okay, I've kind of escaped it. So at some point, I have to thank football for a bit, because I was busy doing other things. And when you're busy doing things, you don't have time to
think.
So you're not really in the mix. So
100%.
Growing up,
yeah,
I'm guessing you knew right from wrong.
Yeah, of course. Always.
Those morals growing up, who and where were they instilled in you from?
What, from right and wrong?
Yeah.
Who taught me? My mum and dad. I knew what was right and knew what was wrong. So,
what did they teach you?
what path to go down and stuff like that. But also they didn't always paint the picture of like the good path. They also taught me that the flip side, like if you don't do this and that, this what can happen and this and that. So I knew what was right and wrong. But sometimes I just did the wrong thing and I don't know why. I had no reason to, but it just happened. But also I knew like guilty conscience in my head. I was thinking that my parents didn't teach me this. So like, why am I doing this sometimes? But yeah, you live and learn. So sometimes you just have to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
I
I think everyone watching now is wondering the question that I'm going to ask you.
Go on.
Why are you wearing a mask?
Why am I wearing a mask? Good question. You know what? I think when the brand came about, I had Instagram before. But
Personal one?
Yeah, personal one.
Yeah. Show
No
face?
no mask, no nothing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I came off Instagram. So because I just thought this is just boring. I don't really want to be on Instagram no more. So I just wanted to live a like shut down life, kind of low profile. So I didn't have Instagram for a long period of time. But then when I did start the brand, still didn't have Instagram, Mr. Fully Paid account. And then I think my friends were like, oh yeah, if you need the brand panel needs to see it. So person or whatever. So then that's when that account got created. So when I came on it, I was just like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna wear a mask because I don't really want people to know what I look like. I don't want people to kind of know what I'm up to and stuff like that. Like I just want to hide their identity. Those who know me know who I am, etc. But I don't want my life to be open out in the public with no mask and stuff. So I just thought, because I just want a calm private life. I just want to go on holiday in peace. Like if I see someone from UK, they wear my brand, they won't notice me. Fantastic. I want to just rather live a quiet like life off the thing. So like that Instagram is the Fully Paid. That's just solely Fully Paid.
Yeah.
Like everything around it's around the brand. It's not really like a personal life. So that's what I prefer anyway, personally. Because if I did walk away from the brand today, Instagram's gone. Everything's gone. That's me. I wouldn't have Instagram no more. I'll just live a normal, calm life. Yeah. So I wouldn't be on the social network. I just don't see the point of it.
Yeah, I think so. You mentioned on the brand, and it's probably worth like explicitly saying for people that are watching who aren't familiar, what is Fully Paid? I guess that's a good place to start.
What is Fully Paid?
Yeah,
Fully Paid is what it is. Fully Paid is a clothing brand. Been around for like 6 years now. Come a long way, very like far, long way. So Fully Paid is the clothing brand. I'm not sure. Some people might have seen it. Some people might have not. But I'm sure you have. I think.
Oh, we definitely have now.
I feel like we've done enough for people to see. So.
Yeah. Interesting.
Firstly, before coming here in the first place, I had the question in my mind where I was like, why is he wearing a mask? But now I understand why you're wearing a mask.
Yeah.
My question is, why did you go by an alias in terms of your name and not your real name? But I think I'm starting to understand why.
Yeah. You know what it is? I want the brand to be the brand. I don't want it to be about me. So I always try and link everything to the brand. So let's say if I wanted to start another brand today, tomorrow, I'll always do the same thing again. I want it to be all about the brand, not about me. I'm not a reality show, so it doesn't need to be about me. It has to be about the brand, the products you're selling, everything. So that's why I just thought, let me just mask and keep the mysteriousness. So people saying, why is he always wearing a mask? Like you're curious, like why is he wearing a mask?
Yeah,
I want to see his face, etc. There's nothing even exciting underneath the mask anyway. But it's like
the curiosity, isn't it? Yeah.
But it's like it builds curiosity, which is good sometimes. Because some people it's always like cautious in the head. This guy's always got a mask. Like, who is he? What is this guy? How does he look like? Stuff like that. So I like that anyway because it just triggers with your head.
We've seen a few people in your space that do a similar thing. So you've got the owner of Trapstar, that does the exact same thing. And then you've got Central C's manager, that does the exact same thing. Question is, are you ever planning to take it off?
Nah, never.
That's
never.
good. I
it's never gonna. I've gone too far. I've gone far in. Like I've gone too deep in the ocean.
Yeah.
So then now just take it off and be like, hey,
hi, I'm here, guys.
I'm here. After 6 years, I'm here. Like, it just wouldn't make sense. Like for me, I've gone too far. If I was gonna do that, I think I would have done it
beginning.
from the beginning. But I've gone way too far in to come and take it off. It just doesn't make sense. I'll even feel weird anyway. So just keep it how it is. To be fair, I don't think I would never do it. To be honest, never. It just wouldn't happen.
Interesting.
I think there's a lot of value that we can get from this conversation from like even a marketing perspective. Whether someone is starting a brand in clothing or I don't know, an app or whatever it is, what was it that really helped you to grow your Instagram page and make Fully Paid the brand that it is now?
Just being ourselves. That's just being ourselves as much as possible. Literally building everything around us, just being ourselves. I think that's the key thing, to be fair, of everything. There's no point of doing something and you're not really true to yourself. The brand doesn't represent what you've come up with or what, for whatever reason, but you just being true, that's it. Just being organic to yourself, to be fair. Like everything with Fully Paid is literally organic. All the relationships, people wearing it, from high to big people, everything's been built off like relationships. So we try and make it as organic as possible, not like watered down and stuff like that.
Explain this to me now, yeah? Off air, we were talking about perspective as a name.
Yeah.
Fully Paid. Why? I don't understand, but why is it called Fully and Paid? What link did those two words have together?
The words Fully Paid.
And who came up with it?
Good question. My cousin came up with it, business partner. But Fully Paid, its name as itself. I mean, everyone wants to be fully paid. So the names go both hand in hand. It's a rememberable name. It's catchy. Like you're gonna remember it. So I think Fully Paid is like it represents a lot of things in everywhere, and it can hit, and it can be. Everyone can relate to it. So that's why the name's probably like everyone can relate to Fully Paid. Like in general, maybe not the clothing. Not everyone's gonna like the clothes. I can understand that, but the name, it resembles a lot of things that happen.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the question that I asked because I know there's someone watching saying, wait, I am being myself and there's no progress in my brand. Like what actionable steps can someone take? Is it like on social media, they pay for marketing or they do influencer marketing? Like imagine you're speaking to someone that wants to grow. And bro, there's a lot of people that are starting to, starting clothing brands that just don't know where to start. And I actually put on my Instagram a few weeks ago, drop me a message if you're starting a business, like I want to help out, like whether it's investment or whatnot. And the people that said, I'm starting a clothing brand, I just said to them, I'm not getting involved because it seems very, very saturated.
I don't blame you.
So what actionable steps can someone take to thrive in the clothing scene today?
I mean, it's hard, isn't it, to kind of break down the steps, but like, I mean, at this current moment, the market's saturated. There's too many clothing brands in the UK. There's way too many. Okay. So I could say what I could say now or whatever, but that might not work because this wasn't 6 years ago. 6 years ago, 5 years ago, the market wasn't so saturated.
Yeah.
So it's tough to kind of like even say where do they start. But what I would say is like they should just be their self. I mean, as far as you're yourself and you're hungry, you enjoy what you do, and you have passion for it, I'm sure it will pull through some way. Because I mean, for instance, every market is saturated, but it's down to you. To be fair, how hungry you are. I mean, if you're hungry and stuff like that, you do your research. I'm sure you can pull through. But as of now, UK, there's a lot of it's very saturated, so you have to be a bit more smart with it. Of how you're gonna. It's tough. To be fair. I mean, it's tough. If it's a men's brand, it's really you're
finished.
Yeah, it's tough because you know what I mean. You're gonna have to compete with not only like the upcomings. You're gonna have to compete with the top creme de creme. And
I honestly appreciate the honesty because a lot of people would, even if they don't feel like suitable to give advice, they'd still give it. Yeah. But I like the fact that you said, look, it's very saturated now. I came from a time where it's 6 years ago, not so saturated. But yeah, no.
But like, if your brand's really good, it's got a good name, and you're hungry, you can make it. You can do it. Yeah. So it's down to the person. I think it all stems down to who's in charge, who's running the show, and what they're doing it for. If they're just doing it to sell clothes, and where are you going? You're not going to go anywhere. Yeah. If you're doing it for a purpose and stuff like that, and you know exactly where you're going, I'm sure you can kind of make it to highest level, because I think everyone always thinks, oh yeah, UK, but the world's big. You can make it anywhere in the world. So it's up to you, to be fair, how you kind of like what your direction and your vision is.
Yeah, I always think of it as like, if you're going into a saturated market and you feel kind of unmotivated, just know there's going to be someone just like you that's going to actually come out and be successful. So make that you.
Yeah. So, I mean, clothing's big market, saturated in the UK. So you've got.
It is a very big market.
The brand doesn't have to look spectacular, but I mean, there's many brands that are not spectacular, but they're big, etc. Stuff like that, and that can be from high-end brands and stuff like that. Some high-end brands are not the greatest. Like, you look at it, it's not about how sick the brand is. You know what I mean, it depends on who the person is, what their marketing strategy is, and stuff like that. That plays a part on how well the brand does.
It's funny you say that, actually, because and you talking about how well a brand does, because the first time I came across Felipe in the first place was about a year ago, and I saw this and I was like, I was in Foot Asylum. I saw Felipe for the first time and I was like, never seen this before.
Yeah.
But for you to get in there in the first place, I don't know how that comes about. Teach me how the hell that comes about. How do you get your brand into Foot Asylum? You must know someone.
Nah, you don't have to know someone, because we came in the game not knowing anyone at that level, not one person. But I mean, if you're doing the right things, they'll find you. They'll actually find you. They're scouts. You might as well call them scouts. Like, they have their scouts. They have their people that work underground. They'll come out. They'll come and reach out to you. You won't have to go to them. They'll reach out to you. If you're doing what you're doing and you're doing well, they'll reach out to you.
Is that how it happened?
Yeah, they'll reach out to you. They'll talk to you, and you go. Whatever happens from there happens from. But they're obviously a big company, so their job is to find who's doing well, etc., what suits the stores and other things like that. So if whoever's doing a brand and they're really, really doing well, then they'll find you. They probably even know about the brand already. I'm sure they know about tons of UK brands. That's their job. Their job is to find brands, etc. So I'm sure they have like 500 brands on their radar. You know what I'm saying? So,
why do you think they came to you? What were you doing right?
I think it was just consistent over a long period of time. We were just being consistent being very, very consistent in what we were doing.
What were you doing?
Just trying to release as regular as possible, trying to, stay in people's faces as much as possible. So I think that's what it is. It's like being consistent. I mean, if you're consistent for a long period of time, you're going to get recognized and stuff like that. It depends. Do you know what I mean? Not everyone, that not work for everyone, but it depends. If you're consistent for a long period of time, I'm sure you'll get a look in. So, yeah. I think it comes down to consistency. When
you first started, I'm just trying to understand this, because I think clothing itself, I think, is a very interesting industry, and everything about it. The question is, you said for you to be relevant, you have to consistently release. Does that mean you have to manufacture very consistently and have a small amount of units?
It can be anything. So you don't have to consistently release, but you have to have maybe one capsule collection to start with, to kind of, do you know what I mean? Or it has to be in the right people's hands, or people need to at least see it. That's first and foremost. People have to at least see it or have heard of the name for it to kind of trigger around, to be fair, personally. Some people will start a brand, no one will hear from it for a long time, but people would have to have known about it a little bit.
Okay.
Seen it, I think.
Now, for that to happen, I've seen a lot of brands do this. They focus heavily on influencer marketing.
Yeah.
So you'd go to somebody well-known who's able to brand themselves very well, and they're also able, so their fans would see the clothing that they're wearing, and obviously that would be indirect marketing for the brand that they're wearing. Would you say that's a good strategy?
It depends who the person is, because it depends who the person is, because I mean, not every big influencer actually has influence. So it all depends who it is, who's wearing it, stuff like that. There's people on like 11 million followers. They can wear something or come on the podcast, for instance, and you might not get good views. But then there could be someone with less followers that can come on the podcast and get more views than someone who's as big. So it just depends of who actually has influence in terms of the following and stuff. It doesn't have to be a massive following, but who actually has the engagement and stuff like that, who actually has like people that are actually tied into the person. So I feel like it's a tricky one, but it don't really matter who it is, to be fair. It's just it depends who the person is, how big the person is in terms of like who's following them, who's watching their daily activities and stuff.
There's more the personality behind the person.
Yeah, I think the personality plays a big part, because you can give it someone on 50 million today and nothing happens, and you can give it someone with 1 million and then you get engagement from that. So it just depends on who the person is at that particular time, like if it matches your target audience as well. So I think with that, it can be tricky, because a couple of years ago that was working for other people. I don't know, I never did it, but just for instance, but it's not always the case, because I mean everyone's got short attention span now, so no one really scrolls and looks at Instagram no more like that, so people might not even see it. Whereas on TikTok, everyone's on TikTok now, so everyone's attention span on TikTok is top tier, but on Instagram now it's tricky, because it's gone. Someone can scroll for like 30 seconds and be like, I'm done.
And you have a marketing team?
Partly. So we kind of do everything in house. So everything we've done from the get go has been in house. The whole thing, literally the whole thing, whole marketing, etc. So
Is this your first business?
Yeah, first business. Won't be my last, but obviously I've got other stuff going on like business wise and stuff like that, but clothing wise, this is the first fashion business. Obviously I've got other businesses going on back home. So
but you mentioned like obviously not having like a role model or someone that you want to be like, but why did you even start it in the first place?
There was no reason, to be fair. I think at the time when the brand came about, my cousin kind of had the idea. At that time I was just I weren't really doing much of my life at that in particular time, because at that time I got released from Wimbledon, so there was like a little rough patch in my life. I just didn't know what to do, what am I doing and stuff like that, and I was going on trials many places, things weren't really working out. So like it came to a point like I generally didn't know exactly what I'm gonna do. Do you know what I'm saying? But obviously that came about. So my cousin wanted me to be his business partner, and he said he wanted to do a clothing brand. At the time, I said, if I'm honest with you, I said clothing is not gonna work, because obviously at the time there was too much going on there.
Yeah.
And even for that, I just automatically I looked at who was in the market at the time, and I said, well, how are we gonna even challenge these lot, or how are we gonna even get close to them and stuff like that? I don't think we're gonna be able to do that. And clothing, it was like a business that I never knew nothing about in general. It was like, this is a bit mad. So for me to go from football to that, I was thinking, this is a bit techie. If someone came to me, start our own agency, I'll be on it, because I played football before. But clothing was a bit of it was interesting and that. But obviously it's not like I was doing anything with my life anyway. So obviously we went in for the kill. I said, all right, cool, you know what, let's do it. Why not, etc. So basically done it because I had nothing going on. But prior towards that anyway, like my contact book was big anyway. Well, like, I knew a lot of people. I forgot how many people I kind of knew out of like my local borough and stuff like that. I knew a lot of people, so did he. But mostly I knew a lot of like big people and stuff like that. So I just thought, okay, cool, like I might be able to get to certain hands and stuff like that. So personally, that's what it came about. So it wasn't really, there was not really no planning behind it and stuff like that. It was just like two heads together. But I just like, it was just one of them things there, like it just happened. And then from there, a lot changed from there, to be fair.
Would you say that networking is really, really important in your journey? Yeah,
100%. Networking is key. So even knowing the right people at the right places and keeping contacting with the right people has literally helped me a lot. Because networking, like, it don't have to be on social media. You have to know people, because everyone knows everyone and you never know who someone knows. So I feel like networking was definitely key. And I feel like football was definitely key because, like, I met a lot of people like that I'm still cool now. I might not shout them every day, but I knew a lot of people that knew other people. So it played hand in hand.
Is that how the Sway Lee co-sign happened?
Nah. Sway Lee was a different one. Still, that's networking as well. Though. But that one is that one is networking as well. So it's like just knowing the right people at the right time and
Okay.
yeah.
So how did that one come about?
Sway Lee.
Yeah.
That one. I don't want to give that one away too much because everyone's gonna run to the guy. But it's one of my mates. He's just he's connected, well connected. He's well connected. He was meeting Sway Lee that day. He told me like literally probably like on that day that we're gonna meet Sway Lee today.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, no worries and stuff. But obviously I never doubt him because when he actually says we're gonna meet someone, we're gonna actually meet someone. So met Sway Lee that day and gave him over the clothes.
The rest is history.
The rest was history. That was it. The rest was history. The rest was history from there.
You just gave it to him. And
Basically we went to go meet Sway Lee was in London. Obviously he's doing a tour, stuff like that. Lad. And then my mate was like, oh yeah, Sway Lee's gonna be here for a couple of days. So like we're gonna. I've been talking. He said he's been talking to them for a while, so we're gonna link them. So I was like, no worries. But obviously I said, did you tell him that you got some clothes from him? He said, yeah, it's already been sorted. So when we've gone to obviously meet Sway Lee at the hotel, like obviously Sway Lee's he's big. He's big, so
huge.
When I got there, I was like, right, like, okay, cool. This is like, I wasn't like starstruck. I was like, oh,
different.
Okay, this is okay. Sway Lee's here. This is weird, isn't it? Not weird, but like, just another day, innit? But he was cool. There for a few hours and stuff like that, and then obviously my friend obviously did what he needed to do. Sway Lee, like in terms of like networking, talking, and stuff like that. And obviously, I handed him over the clothes. I spoke to him, and then like. Literally, he was like, okay, these clothes are dope and stuff like that. And then he asked us if we wanted to come to his show on the Sunday. He would get us in VIP, backstage and stuff like that. So, I was like, why not? So, literally, I was on Instagram the day before the show and he fully paid for his music videos.
Or did you ask him to?
Nah, didn't ask him to. So, he already wore the brand already on 2 occasions and stuff like that. So, obviously, when we went behind like VIP and that, we met Slim Jim. Slim Jim weren't there that day. But met him that day. He wore the brand, and then they tagged it, put it on the Instagram story and stuff like that. Sway Lee wore it again on his Instagram for a picture.
And
just
all of
another
this
day.
is like
Everything was just organic. And since then, obviously, now I've got contact to actually Sway Lee directly, and then the team and stuff like that. So like now it's like organic now, so I can hit them up and say, yo, like. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that came about. So that's obviously through that. Now I've got a relationship now with them. I can go America if I wanted to. I can go America right now. Go link them just like that.
Yeah,
if I want to. So
did that help the brand a lot? Would you say?
Yeah. So obviously it's Sway Lee wearing it. Do you know what I'm saying? So the price goes up. The price goes up. Yeah. So it was good. It was good because it helped it because it was unexpected. Sway Lee wearing fully paid is unexpected, it's out of the world. So you're gonna be thinking for anyone looking at that, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So just another day.
When I was planning this episode, that's one of the things that I was just like, how does a guy from London meet one of the biggest superstars in America, work together and completely propel your business? That was one of the things that I found crazy.
Yeah.
Then I saw something and I was like, wow. Italy, France, the marketing technique there. Firstly, were you giving clothes out for free? Secondly, who even thought about that strategy in the first place?
So like with Italy, I've had like a big following in Italy for like almost like 2 years now. Maybe actually must be hitting 2 years. A year now, 2 years. Time goes so fast.
Yeah.
We've had like big following in Italy for a while. So like 30% of our sales are from Italy. So even we're the like first brand to like break record in foot asylum with sales going to Italy. Like we're the first brand to do it, you know. So with Italy, I've always had like, I feel like I owe them that. So we went there to kind of give clothes for free for them and stuff like that.
How did that work? So did you rent out?
So basically what happened is because of the brand, I've got like some Italian friends now and stuff like that. So what happened is I sent my friend some boxes of clothes. I told him to like meet us up in Rome with his boys and stuff like that. And I was just gonna gift the guys from Rome because obviously Rome was like one of our highest cities where shipments were going to. That and Milan, but obviously Milan's gonna get saved. It's gonna be a big one for Milan, but yeah, this year though. Anyway,
We're invited, yeah. VIP.
yeah, we're invited still. Milan's a big one. That one's getting structured right now as we speak. But I just told him meet us in Rome. We'll give clothes away and stuff like that because he can speak Italian and stuff. We can't speak Italian, so he was there to help us gift the clothes and stuff like that. And then we did it outside Foot Locker as well. So yeah.
Okay, was it just like you guys in person? As in
Yeah, it was us in
What does that
person
do for
still.
a brand?
It's good, innit? Because obviously, like, branding at the end of the day. It's
Okay.
branding. Done it outside Foot Locker as well. So I'm sure Italy Foot Locker know about us by now.
Interesting.
Saying.
And the same
'Cause-
thing for France?
Yeah, with France as well. I've built some good connections there through, like, Fully Paid and stuff like that with some artists and stuff like that. So, like, I'm actually locked in with a lot of big artists there, like Proper Family now and stuff like that. So with France, again, the same thing as Italy, just giving back to France and the people that support us. Literally. So yeah, man, we're not just one-sided UK. We're trying to, branch out as much as possible
I think there's a story to learn from that.
because the world is
Yeah,
big.
from
The world is
branding.
big. There's many people that want to, be in the mix of UK people and stuff like that. So I feel like once people know that the world is big and it's not all about UK, they'll understand the power of like what we can actually do. So yeah.
Would you say it's better to invest your time and energy in the market here or look about investing your time and energy everywhere?
Everywhere,
Okay.
because obviously as Nike's a global brand,
Yeah.
you want to be as global as possible. You want people to know you from different parts of the world. So definitely, like I'd say everywhere, to be fair, because I mean, what's the point of just being, the guy in just one place where you can try and be everywhere? You know what I mean? It's good to be everywhere. It's good for your own self as well, branding and stuff like that, because it means that you're growing. If people and other places are messing with you, so it's good to be out of your bubble.
Have you come across anyone wearing Fully Paid, like you're just walking without the
All
mask?
the time.
That's me.
Yeah, all the time. To be fair, quite
that
a lot. Feels good. Obviously, before I never used to like. Before when it first started, I used to see it, but that's because obviously that's Hackney, like so
Close
I wasn't,
community.
so I wasn't really
Yeah.
like. It's like okay, great, that's nice, but like when I started seeing people out of my local environment wearing it, that's when I got more happy and gassed because I mean like okay, cool, that means it's getting somewhere.
Yeah.
So when I saw people wearing, I was like, oh, cool, that's dope and stuff like that. But now it's just like normal, like just another day.
Have you had any offers to sell the company?
People have asked. People always ask, but people just talk. But yeah, we've had time. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we've had times when people have asked. But yeah, we've had people ask. Yeah, many times. But,
Fair enough.
I think there's a lot of misconception behind running a clothing brand. Like, I don't know, but you being very successful now, a lot of people will think things about running a clothing brand is very easy because all you do is you go and you source material from X, Y, and Z, you sell it on a platform, you make a lot of money, you just pay off whatever you need to pay off and you're in profit all the time.
Nah.
What's a common misconception that you would say?
It's not always what it looks like, But obviously, before coming into business anyway, I just thought, you just sell, make money, keep it stepping. I didn't really know much about VAT, so when I came in the clothing game, I've gone to a factory in UK and they've done t-shirts and they've added like 20% and extra money. It's like, why is there extra money here? Like, I've paid the money. Like, what is this 20%? And I realized that's when I learned about VAT there and there. Like, you have to 20% VAT because
You
obviously
claim it back now.
Yeah, I'm claiming it back. Every penny, 1p, 2p, 3p, I'm taking it back. I don't give a heck. But yeah, clothing, I feel like people, this is for anyone anyway, starting a business, I feel like people should definitely look into like the tax stuff before you get there because things in business can change very quick. So you can make X amount of money very fast in 1 year and then you're in the tax bracket, VAT bracket, and you're going to have to pay VAT every 3 months. So I feel like people need to look into more the logistics of business and stuff like that before that. They just feel like, we're going to sell this and sell that.
And that's profit.
Yeah, that's profit because it's not really profit. It's not profit. Like,
Have you considered moving to Dubai?
Yeah, many times.
And then
Many
move the
times.
company so you don't get.
Many times. I think
It's
about
in the
Dubai every day.
works.
I think about Dubai every day. But yeah, that's what I'll say. Like literally, I think people need to really, really look into the logistics of how before they even start any sort of business, because the tax is heavy in this country because you got to pay corporation tax, then you got to pay VAT, and then when your stuff is coming from wherever it's coming from, you got to pay customs. So something to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's something that you would say you would do differently if you could go back now? You don't need to give every gem away, but you can give me one.
If I could go back, I would like to start with a budget, but then again, I'm happy that we didn't start with a budget, because who knows?
We're
might
talking
not-
about a marketing budget here.
yeah, like money, like startup cost and stuff like that. I would have wished we had like the budget to start with, but then again, I'm happy we didn't, because we could have blew all the money, and that's it. The money could have went left. But if I could go back, to be fair, I don't think I'll change anything. To be fair, I wouldn't change anything at all. I wouldn't change anything at all. I feel like business and life is just, you have to live and learn. So you're always learning. So there'll be nothing I would want to change, because without that, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So there'll be nothing I would want to change if I was going to go back. It'll be hard for me to say, pinpoint like what would I change and stuff like that. No, very hard and difficult.
You must have learned from the conversation that we just had. You must have learned a lot of hard business lessons.
Yeah, very hard business lessons, serious ones. So
What's one of them?
one of them was like when we manufactured out of UK for the first time. A shipment came in from Pakistan for some tracksuits, the first ever tracksuits we ever released, and the delivery was taking very long. All this time, it was stuck in customs. I didn't know what customs was. I had no clue. And then obviously each day it's in customs, you have to pay a fee. So I remember getting a number. I called up and I was like, where's the stuff? I'm waiting for my clothes. And they were like, yeah, you have to pay a certain amount of customs fee. But I was like, what's that? I've already paid for my delivery. That's when I did my research and stuff like that into like what's customs duty. So yeah, that one was a big one, because I was thinking I never knew anything about customs. So that was the first time when I knew business was actually real.
Yeah.
I knew like from there, wow, this is crazy stuff. But what's this? I've already paid for my goods, just give me my clothes.
Yeah, it's like with business, there's no set curriculum. You know, when you go to school, it's like, okay, you need to learn this to pass. But business is like, I've done everything I thought I needed to. Wait, I need to do this as well.
Yeah, so I think that was like the first one. I was like, wow. And then another time where like during COVID period, we put in an order for clothes and we couldn't get it.
Yeah.
And we were basically low on stock. And COVID happened like so fast and everything happened so quick, and then like we literally couldn't get no clothes into the country. So we had a little bit of clothes left, but it was gone. It would have been it didn't last us, and there was a long period of time we had no stock. We just had hats, and it was not good. It was proper like.
Did you think it would just shut down?
Yeah, at that point, I just wanted everything to shut down. Luckily, we had no high overheads. We didn't have no high overheads, but at that period of time, it was like one of the most challenging things, because I was thinking, okay, we can only sell hats. So obviously, we pushed the hats, we made money, we made whatever we need to make every month. But I was thinking, like, we actually generally can't get clothes, and when are we going to be able to get clothes into the country? That was the main thing as well. And then on top of that as well, we booked Box Park at the time for a pop-up shop. That was obviously in July, but obviously COVID happened earlier. So I was thinking, damn, like, we can't even get our money back from this. So like, what are we going to do? And then obviously, at the end, the clothes did come, but there was another problem as well when the clothes come. It wasn't everything.
Oh,
Another issue.
So that was another issue. So then now we have stock. Well, we're short of stock again.
Yeah.
So we went Box Park. We didn't have enough of our stock that we wanted to have. The manufacturer at the time, he kept sending clothes in drips and drabs, and I mean, at that in particular time, it was hitting towards the winter festival ish, like August and that, and like, we didn't get all of our stuff we needed. And then when he did send some of the winter stuff, it was short again. And then I was asking him then, like, what's the problem? What's going on? Like, where's half of our stuff? And then yeah, that was the first time I wrote. Like that was a real challenging time because he did a run of 6K.
Oh,
Yeah. So at the in particular time, with everything he owed us, it was like £6,000. And like there was no way of us getting it back because obviously when I did the calculation, I was like, okay, there's £6,000 worth of stock still missing. We don't have it. Like, what are we gonna do? And when we were speaking to him, just every day was another excuse and stuff like that until like everything just went quiet. It just didn't reply. Everything went blank. We couldn't get the money back because we didn't pay through PayPal, pay through the bank. And it was just headache. It was headache. So that was 6K down the drain.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that we couldn't get.
So I think that's a lesson in terms of manufacturers and getting the right one.
Yeah, getting the right manufacturer, making sure the terms and condition we're paying is correct and stuff like that. Because obviously at the time we was just paying manufacturers. We didn't have nothing in place like signing this and that, terms where 50-50 or whatever, like terms. There was no terms. We're just paying it. Whereas now it's a bit different. That would not happen now. Impossible. Like,
you guys travel to the manufacturers and see them
at that time we didn't. It was in Pakistan. We didn't go there.
How about now?
Yeah, we're there when we need to be there. We can get there quick. So yeah.
Private jet settings.
I wish.
Shout out Steve, man.
Shout out Steve.
But yeah, at that time was So it's easy for us now to get to the manufacturers and stuff like that. I feel like it's key to be able to meet manufacturers face to face. Yeah. So yeah.
That's good, man. And you're doing very well. You're doing very, very well.
We're trying.
And I wanted to ask actually because one of your friends is here today.
Yeah.
But I know with people doing well,
you
also get a lot of resent.
Yeah, of course, every day. We do. People treat you different every day because of where you are in life or whatever. But I'm always smart. I'm always in the mix with like people I grew up with. So I'm always keeping the same people around me. I haven't really changed. My friendship hasn't changed, no matter what. I've got friends from like primary school, nursery. We might not speak every day, but we're cool and stuff. So like I know like my real friends and I know who's around. So like I always try and keep them around as much as possible because at the end of the day, when all said and done, that's who.
So
that's
there
who
for you.
Yeah.
Imagine you have your actual circle around you.
Yeah.
And you've now blown up and you're now doing very, very well.
Yeah.
One of them becomes resentful. One of them starts showing hate. What do you do to them? Well, not physically, obviously, but what would you do to them?
There's not much to do. You just have to keep it moving.
So you cut them off?
Yeah, you have to. I guess you have to. You have to cut them off.
Has it happened?
Nah,
Yeah.
not yet.
Not yet. I have a quick question, personal. As in personal to me that I'm intrigued to know. So first of all, you're working full time or fully paid?
Yeah, full time, fully paid.
The question that I had is, you know, when you have like a business account and you're getting like money coming in, it's very difficult for you to for me, we're gonna get a bit more deep here. So like when I have like a business account and there's money coming in there, it's very hard for me to say, okay, I'm taking this portion for myself as a salary. Because for me, it's just like grow, keep it growing. Like, how do you find that balance of taking money for you to actually live and reinvesting the money back into your business?
Pretty easy, to be fair. Like, I work out my expenses a month, my personal life.
Yeah.
And so I'll work that out. So whatever that comes up to, that will obviously be taken in account, and then whatever I think I can live off,
take that portion.
Then I'll take that portion. Okay. So I'm pretty much strict with it. I don't go overboard. I'm pretty much slick with. Okay. I know how much comes out my personal bank every month, so that's covered by this, and then how much I can do with this. What can I do with this in that month? Where am I going and stuff like that? But I always keep it the same amount. I'll never take anything that doesn't need taking, because there's no point in me taking lump sum of money just to sit in my personal account just to do what? Just for it to look nice. No point. So I try and like keep it as sweet as possible, because I don't really need much in life apart from me paying my bills and maybe going on holiday here and there. There's not really much that needs to be done, to be fair.
You sound like you have a very interesting relationship with money.
Yeah.
In the sense where how would you describe your relationship with money?
Money's money, to be fair. Like, it's not really like, I'm not a slave to money. I know money can go and come. You can make money today, you can lose it tomorrow. I'm not a slave of money. It's just a piece of paper, to be honest with you. So, if anything, I don't really have a relationship with money. It's more like I know what I need to use the money for and stuff like that. So, I'll never be a slave to money.
Do you have things that you like constantly buy over and over and over again? Because I know myself, until very recently, I was into clothes.
Yeah.
Every 2 minutes, I just want a new pair of this, a new pair of that. I want this shirt, that shirt.
Yeah.
I used to love football shirts. Every shirt that comes out, I want it.
Buy it. Trainers, to be fair. But that's been me from a long time. Like, I love trainers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just buy trainers. Even from before, like, even if I had nothing much, I would just buy trainers.
Yeah.
Trainers are something I've always loved in it since I was young. So I'll just buy trainers. So trainers are something I always buy. No matter what, I'll buy trainers.
But that's the main thing.
That's the main thing, just trainers. Take away trainers, not much, but trainers is, trainers.
Other than that, you reinvest a lot of your money that you make in. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Why has Felipe not got trainers?
Soon. That's a good question. Someone said that before, but yeah, you never know. You might see one in winter, you might see one soon. Who knows? You might see one in a month. You never know. We might even have one there.
Interesting.
Mysterious, but nah, that's a good question. I don't know, to be fair. Soon though, who knows? Who knows? But trainers that's a whole different ball game. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mr. Felipe, I wanted to ask you one more question regarding the actual business.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us right here, we're very interested in the business side of what you do, and also business in general and what we want to do and what we want to promote. Do you think you're a role model?
I don't know, you know. I would like to say I am.
Yeah. When you go back to the end, do people see you as a role model?
I think so. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Because what it is with me, I'm proper like, I'm not really a waste man. Like, in terms of like, I don't act like a waste man to people in my area. Like, especially people younger than me. Like, I always try and like ask the young people like what they're doing with themselves and stuff like that. Like, even I've given many young people opportunities. I just don't need to put it on air. Don't really care. That's like my job. Like, I've come into this game to like help people out. As far as I'm here to help people out, I feel like my mission in life is kind of completed, because I'm here to change people's lives. Like, so like I kind of always talk to them and try and ask them questions to make them think, and always try and give them the best advice as possible, because I know what it's like in general. So I'm not the type of guys to go somewhere and say, oh yeah, what you're doing is wrong. I try and understand why you're doing it, what's the reason, if there's a solution, or like what can we do to like kind of channel your brain to another path. So yeah, like I hope they do see me as a role model, but I always talk to them. Whenever I see them, I talk to them. I give out a lot of free clothes to some young people in my area, like, you know, without taking no money.
With the
like,
belly or no?
No, they know. I don't need to wear the belly of them. They know already. So I try and like with the young generation and stuff like that, I try and look after them as much as possible, because obviously they're like the next big thing and stuff like that. And I try and show them another perspective of life, you know, because I feel like a lot of people are used to seeing, you know, sometimes they might see the odd footballers or musician make it out in the area or stuff like that. But you know, when growing up, I never come across anyone in business when I was growing up in my world. Like, I just never. However, maybe I did bump into one or two, but I just never knew what they were doing. Whereas, like, you know, they're used to seeing, you know, a lot of illegal stuff. So it's good to obviously talk to them sometimes, because at least they can see
a way out.
Do you know what I'm saying? There's people that's made it out, you know, through other stuff. So it's good for them to see a different perspective of life, because sometimes I feel like when you're in the bubble, you can get caught up and that's all you're seeing, which is like, I can understand why. So yeah, I'm always cool with everyone. I'm always sound. I always look out for them. If they need anything, they know who to call and stuff like that. I always try and help people out as much as possible.
I remember we had a conversation with somebody, Bruno, and similar situation. He came from the hood. He came from like Northwest London and so on and so forth. Yeah. And he completely changed his life and became a photographer.
Okay.
And then recently just done the World Cup in Qatar.
Dope.
And he was saying how he was from one area of the woods in North London, and the other side, obviously, he could never travel to.
Yeah.
But once he started becoming a photographer, he would go to the other side and start shooting videos for X, Y, and Z, and he became the cool guy. And what he said was his camera became a passport.
Yeah.
With you, would you say that those ties go from one side to the other, in the sense where because you've developed what you've developed, you're able to go to other areas of London and inspire other people?
Yeah, of course. Like, you know, there's certain places in London where people wouldn't want to go to and stuff like that, but because of Fully Paid, I can literally go there, I can talk to them and stuff like that, I can understand what's really going on. And, you know, I've dealt with some nutheads. But, they don't move like that to me because I'm a businessman and I can understand what goes on. So they look at me a bit differently because I'm not a threat to them, if you understand. So it's always good to kind of understand people. I feel like people get overlooked a lot in UK. So
cool. The next part of this is we do something called the quickfire round.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Yeah.
And I just want your honest answer straight away.
Answer, cool.
What does the future of Fully Paid look like?
It looks bright. As far as like, if we keep the fire burning and as long as we keep dreaming, it looks bright. I mean, it's in our hands to either keep dreaming or thing. So whatever happens anyway, we're never in a losing position because we started this with £400, £500, whatever the company's valued at now, whatever it is. So we're never we're never in a losing position. So the future's always bright, regardless what happens. Yeah.
What drives you?
What drives me? A lot of things drive me. A lot. So I'll say my mum, sisters, family, really, friends as well. So yeah, they're like, you know, the main people. Say mum and sisters drive me a lot.
What is one achievement that you're working really hard to achieve?
To move my mum back home. I think that's like one of my main.
What was that? Sorry.
To move my mum back home.
Oh, okay.
That's like one of my main like number one target. Once I've done that, I think I've accomplished what I've done in life. Finished. That's it.
What would you like to be remembered for?
What I don't know. Just
imagine you've died now.
Yeah.
What would you like to be remembered for? Deep one, isn't it?
Deep one. I don't know what I'd be remembered for there. I'll leave that for the public. I don't know.
What would you like to be remembered for?
Just a guy that helped a lot of people. You know, just a nice guy, I guess. Yeah.
I think that comes about the whole conversation, to be fair.
Yeah.
We have two other things. There's a camera right there.
Yeah.
Okay. And what we do is, every guest that comes on, we do this. That camera here on the right hand side.
That one there, yeah.
I want you to look straight into the camera.
Yeah.
And either give an advice to the people watching right now.
Okay.
Or ask them a question.
Advice. Ooh. Ask them a question. That's a tricky one.
Whichever one you want.
Advice. Advice. I'll say, kids, anyone watching, stay in school, stay focused, don't get drawn out, and just be yourself. Literally. That's what I have to say in a summary.
Nice and simple.
Not too much.
Splendid. Cool. Then there's one last thing, and we do this at the end of every single episode that we do in terms of when we have any guests coming on. Yeah. And that's we have a little game at the end. Okay? General knowledge game.
General knowledge. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So this is what we have, yeah? 20 questions.
Yeah.
In 2 minutes.
All right, cool. Go on. Throw it at me.
Top of the league right now. We've got, I forgot who it is actually, but I think it's at 14 or 15. That's Bruno, right? Yeah. 14 correct answers out of the 20 in 2 minutes.
Damn.
Then I think at bottom of the league, we've got Nasser at 5.
Alright, cool.
Okay. So if you want to be in between that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask you 20 questions in 2 minutes. Eamon, I want the timer.
Timer on.
Let's go. Cool. Tell me when to start. Cool. What's the 7th planet from the sun?
Whoa. Whoa.
Just say skip if you don't know.
I'm skipping that. Yeah. I don't have a clue.
Who wrote Macbeth?
Oh. J.K. Rowling.
What's the capital of Scotland?
Glasgow.
Edinburgh. What?
Is it?
Yeah.
No way.
Which animal stripes are on its skin as well as the fur?
Zebra.
Tiger. How many eyes do caterpillars have? Just say skip if you don't know.
Skip.
What's the tallest building in the world?
Burj Khalifa.
Well done. What was the third club Cristiano Ronaldo played for?
Third club.
Yeah. If you don't know, skip.
Wait. No, don't skip yet. Man United.
No, Real Madrid.
The third club.
Third club. Because you got Sporting, Man United, then Real Madrid. What is the symbol for gold in the periodic table?
Next.
Who did France beat in the 2000 Euro final to win the Euros?
Go back in.
Who did France beat in the 2000 Euro final to win the Euros? If you don't know, skip.
I'll definitely remember it. It's like it's in my head. I'm trying to think. I
blame you. He gave free clothes.
Italy.
Correct. In what year did the Second World War start?
Skip.
Which movie franchise did the phrase "May the odds be ever in your favor"? Skip. What was the third country to get the atomic bomb?
Skip.
Which country is famous for the fast food chain Jollibee?
I don't know. I'll say Dubai, innit?
No, Philippines. What does a micron measure?
Skip that.
What is the number one seller at Walmart?
I've read the book on the guy as well. Time.
I'm not gonna lie, those are hard questions.
They were tough.
To be fair, I'm real with you. It wasn't me this time.
First,
Innit?
you know what? I was like, let me do what's the world's tallest building to give you a bit of
That was hard.
We needed that.
Poor man. But Cristiano, you know, as I forgot because I forgot he was at Sporting. I thought he went from Man United to Real Madrid to Man United to Real Madrid. Yeah.
To Juve.
Oh yeah, he played for Juve as well. Oh my god, the guys played for so many
Mr.
clubs.
Mr. Felipe, thank you ever so much for your time today.
Thanks.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
That's
And
that.
what we say usually at the end is Yahya looks at the camera and he says,
I think you should do it this week.
I don't remember.
I don't even know it myself. Thank you so much, guys. Which camera? Must be that one. And make sure to tune in next time.
Take care of your family. Bye-bye.
Peace.